Tragedy and Hope, The Little Sisters of the Poor Fire, 1931. Story 144, Part 1. The rain was pouring down one afternoon, so Bubba-Doo, the faithful and under-your-feet wiener dog, was stuck inside. He went into his little doghouse under the stairs and returned with some old photo albums. We looked at the pictures of him shaking off the water the day at Avalon Library when he thought he was stepping on a rock in their pond and instead plunged headfirst into the water like an Olympic diver. And then there was the day we brought him home for the first time. Bubba raced straight upstairs into the waiting paws of Slippers the cat. A quick swat on the nose, and Bubba learned to leave the cats alone, at least for a few minutes. When we finished looking at the photos, Paul fixed us grilled cheese and tomato soup for dinner. Bubba loves his cheese. As we ate, the news came on TV. One of the stories was about a new playroom being dedicated at the Children's Home of Pittsburgh and Lemieux Family Center. Located 1 mile east of UPMC Children's Hospital on Penn Avenue in the Friendship neighborhood of Pittsburgh, the home and center provides everything from health care to adoption services for the children of Western Pennsylvania. When the news story finished, a commercial came on TV. Bubba asked if we knew what tragedy occurred on that site in 1931. We did not, so Bubba started telling this tragic story. In 1872, at the request of the St. Vincent de Paul Society, the Little Sisters of the Poor were asked to establish a home in Allegheny City, now Northside, to care for the elderly. When the need for larger facilities arose, a new home was built in 1885 at the corner of Penn Avenue and South Aiken Street in Friendship. Finally, in 1923, a second home was established on Benton Avenue in the Brighton Heights neighborhood of Pittsburgh. Bubba reminded us that we can see that home from the back of our house. Around 10 p.m. on Friday, July 24, 1931, Sister Agatha, the 80-year-old Mother Superior, was awakened by residents pounding the floor above her third-floor room with their canes. When she left her room, the hallway was thick with smoke, and she could see flames licking their way up the stairwell. She made her way to the first floor to ring the ancient warning bell. The 16 nuns staying in the home rushed to Sister Agatha's side. They focused their attention on the women's section of the home, where many residents were infirm and elderly. The first call to the Pittsburgh Fire Department came in at 10:18 p.m. 22 fire companies responded. Over 15,000 people gathered on the streets surrounding the home, watching the unfolding disaster. The people watched and listened in horror as the residents on the upper floor stood at windows screaming for help as the fire rapidly spread. Firemen were finally able to set up nets into which some of the residents were able to jump. The people trying to aid those in the home were blocked by a massive stone wall surrounding it. Many grabbed ladders from houses in the neighborhood, only to have the ladders catch fire from the heat. 22-year-old Bruce Griffiths was working for the Alpha Claude Neon Light Company on a sign on Bigelow Boulevard when a fire truck went roaring past him. He gave chase on his motorcycle and could see the flames in the building as he approached the home. Jumping off his motorcycle, he immediately climbed a fire escape to the third floor. There, he found a group of elderly men and women paralyzed with fear, sitting on a sun porch crying. He led them to the fire escape and pointed them to safety. Bruce then returned to the fourth floor, crawling on his hands and knees from room to room and bed to bed. He would reach up to see if anyone was still in their beds. Many were already dead. Those alive he carried to safety. While he was being interviewed, Bruce suddenly collapsed and had to be rushed to the hospital. End of part 1.